Hey everyone, Ekman here with another video, and today we're going to be looking at all the yellow cards revealed for the second set of the Dragon Ball Super card game Fusion World, which comes out in just a couple weeks, which is really exciting. And if you want to see any of the cards from set 2, all of them have been updated onto my website, Eggman Events, so you can check out the deck builder there. You can see all the cards. Here are just the yellow ones that are for set 2, but all of set 2 is there, and you can do some deck building and just, some theory crafting and everything else. So we're going to go over just kind of some cards I think are interesting from the set, and then we're going to have an example deck build with Vegeta at the end as well. But let's just jump on into it. And I'm going to be honest, Vegeta, I was really excited about what kind of things he could do. The front side is pretty generic, but the back side, being able to untap 2 energy at the end of every turn, is pretty strong. We've seen this in Dragon Ball Super Masters be a very strong leader effect as well. And my only issue is that it's just like a really generic leader otherwise, right? And all the stuff that was printed for yellow, at least for Vegeta, is also very generic. It's kind of difficult to build for him when it's just there's no like real clear path for it, but doesn't mean it's not strong. But I also think like we didn't get like, when I saw this effect as well, I'm like, okay, cool, we're gonna get a lot more of like these 1-cost events or extra cards rather that will let us do some cool things, maybe even like a 2-cost event that lets us play like a 3-cost Saiyan or something like that. Like I had like some high expectations, and we didn't really get those, right? We got two good extra cards that can be played on defense. This Blue Power Awakening is pretty good. Being able to KO something rested with a cost of 6 or less is pretty great for removal. And we also have this Activate Battle, choose your leader, or up to one of your battle cards gets plus 25k power for the battle. So that's pretty good. That's a meteor, right, to get out of an attack that we get for free because we get that 2 energy every turn. So that's fine. We also get Time Rewound as well. Activate Battle. Once per turn, choose one of your leaders or battle cards that gets plus 20k power for this battle. Then you can choose up to one of your battle cards and switch it to active, which is great for protecting it for after, so your opponent can attack into it, or refreshing a blocker. So this card's actually not too bad either. But there's just like nothing really cool to do, I guess, with the 2 energy. So it's probably fine. I was probably have my expectations a little bit too high. The only other thing you can do is that we have this new Whis card that is a blocker, and then Activate Battle once per turn. For 1 energy, you can switch this card to active mode, so you can do something like attack with it on your opponent's turn. They're starting to attack you, and then you can pay 1 on the defense side to restand it. You can't. You'd have to miss out on the first attack, so it'd have to be Activate Battle, meaning you'd restand it, and then you can block every attack any afterwards, but not the first one because of it. So you do lose out on something, but being able to get like a free refresh from your leader is not too bad either. So that's kind of the idea for that. Everything else I think is just kind of more generic, and I'll be honest, I think Frieza is still going to be the stronger deck on just like some beginning theory crafting and testing. Frieza got a lot of good cards, and I think that deck's going to be better, but there could be some good. I'm not going to write Vegeta off quite yet. That's just been my experience as is. So anyways, going through some additional cards we want to talk about. We got another Bulma. So on play, look top 5 cards of your deck, reveal 1 Whis, add it to your hand, place the rest of your bottom of your deck. This would be fine if there were more cards named Whis. There are only 2, so and only one of them is in the 10k, and I don't think this Whis is super good. So end of your turn, choose a 20 of your rest mode cards, switch to active mode. So that's maybe okay if you establish it. I'm not convinced on this card quite yet, but again, like this, with only 8 targets maximum for this Bulma, you just don't. It's not worth it. It's not worth running it. It's just like there's not enough targets for it, which is maybe it's going to be better down the line, but right now I don't think it's great. This Bulma is still very good, and we still have like the Vegeta combo from where you can play it and you can take 2 cards from your life, so you can awaken pretty quickly using these effects, but I don't super like it yet. We have this Cooler, which is really interesting. So it's blocker, 1 drop, and then also activate main for 3. You can return this card to its owner's hand to play a Cooler cost of 4. So if you're able to play it early and you're able to get it to stick, you get some really good advantage from it. You can also use this in like Ginyu specifically, like if you're at 3 energy and 4 life and 3 energy, you can play the Cooler, untap the energy, and then use the effect to get it out early. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's just something you could do. We also get this 2-drop Ginyu. Activate main, switch this card to rest mode. Choose 2 of your battle cards with Ginyu Force in their special trait, and then get plus 5k power for the turn. So it's another Frieza Army Ginyu Force card, which is good. It's named Ginyu, which is a little bit weird in some scenarios, but it's not terrible. It's also a 10k counter, which is really nice for you. So I could see this like replace maybe Birder in some builds too, just because you are able to play it and get like the boosts of things. So not too bad. You do have to rest it and you have to get it on the board, but it's whatever. We also have Master Roshi. This was revealed pretty long ago. I really like this card. Maybe I shouldn't, but it's pretty much a 25k during the times where it matters, because it has this permanent discards of rest mode. It gets plus 20k power. So if you're trying to set up as a blocker, it's a 5k. So against red, you pretty much always want to attack with it. But a 25k body for 3 that's also a 10k counter is not too terrible. So I think it's really neat. We also get this Aandroidd 18 in this one on player when attacking. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. So that's pretty strong. Being able to rest 2 things on the same turn is pretty good for value purposes too. We do have this 3-cost Frieza, which is a little bit expensive for the deck. We don't really have like a really good turn 3 anyways, except for wanting to awaken. But auto your turn once per turn. When this card is switched to active mode by a skill, choose up to one of your opponent's rest mode battle cards with a cost of 4 or less, and it can't switch to active mode during your opponent's next turn. So the idea is that your end of turn with your leader Frieza lets you restand this, which means that you give you stun something as well, and then you get this 10k counter if you need it too. So not too bad of a card, and I think that's very helpful for the deck too. We have this Meta Cooler. It's a 3 blocker, but end of turn you can switch to active mode for free, which isn't too bad for cooler stuff too. We get this Sun Gohan Adolescent. So real quick, we got this Goku, which looked pretty nuts generically, right? Being able to rest, you stun a rest card on play, and when attacking, it's like a mini version of Beerus. Well, we even have like a mini version. So just on play with the Sun Gohan Adolescence, choose up to one of your opponent's rest mode battle cards that can't switch to active mode during their opponent's next turn. So we have just so many ways to stun. This does not care about cost at all, so this could be pretty good. I think the Goku is just better, and it's not too expensive for being able to do it consistently, but this is just like another card if you want to continue to just stun every card your opponent has. We also do have some of like the 4-cost Frieza clan stuff. So we have like the King Cold, which you can play off the 5-cost Mecha Frieza from last set. But when blocking once per turn, you can switch this card active, so you get to do a double block with this one, which isn't too bad. And then we also have Mecha Frieza. So when KO'd, it's also a blocker. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal Frieza clan and its special traits, add it to your hand. Then place the rest of your bottom of your deck in any order. So these 2 are really good blockers, and again, which is why I think Frieza could take advantage of either of these. And even like 5-cost Mecha Frieza could see more play since there's more King Cold targets to play off of it, which I think is great. So I think all that's very good. Lastly, we have Energy Blast Volley, which activate main, you can just rest everything, which is sounds a little bit crazy, but I also would say that in Dragon Ball, most cards, except for if you're playing against yellow specifically, end the turn in rest mode. So you're just so benefited to attack with everything that I don't think this card's going to be very good. I think there's just not a lot of like defensive decks that put up a lot of blockers, except for maybe Frieza. So it could be good against like the mirror match if you're playing yellow, but other than that, I don't think it's going to see too much play. And then we do have our secret rare Golden Frieza as well, which is still Frieza Clan, Frieza Army. So the only other kind of thing is that yellow doesn't really get a lot of card draw or cycle outside of the 1-drops that we had last set, right? So this is findable off Zarbon, since it is a card with Frieza in its name, so that's pretty tempting for the deck. This being able to be opponent's battle cards with 5 or more, you're played in rest mode, and also on play you get to KO a rest mode battle card. This card is not too bad, and I think that if there's a deck to take advantage of it, it's probably Vegeta, because you do still get your 2 energy open at the end, which means you do have some defense capabilities for the deck as well, being able to have like Blue Power Awakening or Time Rewound, or even like Golden Frieza, like Death Ball, that kind of stuff. We do have just more access to defense tools, which is really, really nice. So anyways, here is my example build for it. And I kind of had a bit of an issue with what do we build for Vegeta, right? We don't really have that many cards that are specific to him. And the other thing with yellow right now is we don't have a lot of generic searchers or consistency cards. The only cards that we have that let us draw are the 1-drop Sorbet and then also the 1-drop Zarbon. So this looks top 5 for anything that includes Frieza. So that does mean that we do get like the new Golden Frieza as well, which is pretty good, and the Mecha Frieza. So I kind of felt like that was just the best way for more consistency, because again, Vegeta Vegeta's really open-ended, and I would say maybe too open-ended due to just kind of what the card pool looks like. So yeah, we're running a good amount of Friezas. We're having like the 1-drop Frieza, the 2-drop Frieza, which is really great for just early control and being able to get some self-awakening, which is great. Then we also have the 3 costs. We can play any of these 1-drops too. So I might be playing too many 1-drops. You can take them out, but because Vegeta can play a 1-drop for free from our hand, it is really tempting to do so. We are playing the 2-drop Zarbon just for more self-awakening, and we do have a couple Ginyu copies as well, which I might just bump this up to 4 and then remove the Zarbon, or I might just remove this altogether. I'd have to do some more testing with it, but honestly, like again, this has always been strong where you're able to play a 2-cost 20k for free, which is really good. So I think it's still good for now. We do have like our 3-drop Vegeta, and then going up to our 4 costs, we have our Blocker Mecha Frieza, and honestly our Son Goku, which still seems like one of the strongest cards for this deck. It's a 10k counter, being able to stun 2 things on play and when attacking. Consistent, like the turn you play it, stun something, attack, stun something else, which is really great. And then we have our 5-drop Golden Frieza and our 6-drop Golden Frieza as well. So running a super combo, time rewound, and also blue power awakening 2, just a 4-3 split, just because we can play 2 time rewound on 1 turn after awakening, but it's a little bit trickier to like this takes up all of the energy that we're using as well. So I was thinking about playing the 4-cost Whis as well, but we just had so many other 4 costs that I didn't find that as super worth it. And I am a little bit worried that we are running a lot of 5Ks with not a lot of 10Ks either. So there could be a way that we just remove these 2 costs for something that's kind of better in the slot. But yeah, the deck seems really interesting. Again, I don't know. I still just feel like Frieza from the Star deck is just like the better leader for all this stuff. Anyways, like the defense properties or being able to use like time rewound or blue power awakening is tempting to play for Vegeta, but I just don't know if the consistency's there, because we just draw cards, right? We don't get any searchers. We don't find our pieces outside of using Zarbon to find them, and I feel like it's a little bit rough for any archetype that's just not a Frieza archetype right now. So anyways, that's going to be it for this one. Let me know what you guys think about this deck and what yours look like as well, and we'll be looking at other Fusion World stuff in the next couple weeks. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll make sure to catch you all next time.